So this is the result of the Ghost 4 that I disassembled and reassembled with different parts. I think I kept the cockpit and one of the landing gear. It's got a full-size reactor. It's all upgraded to Class C. The 2x3 custom cargo bay lounge could be a 3x3. It would accept a 3x3 fine. Oops. Let's turn on the outside daylight. Daylight switched on. Continue. It's got plenty of space for halves. It's got more halves on it than it really ought to have. The 3x1s are a little bit overbuilt on it, but it's got the space, and I was just messing around and added them. You could put a one of those engine mounts on it and remove the 3x1s, but I just figured why not. It's not like I'm really going to fly the ship. I was just building something. So it's a straight entry landing bay into a elevator, because it's got, with the landing bay, it's got 3 floors, so I went ahead and put an elevator in. And here we have the captain's cabin. Not decorated yet. The 2x3 lounge. And over here, of course, the workshop. I didn't actually add an armory. It's really not necessary. I mean, I've got weapon racks in the workshop and weapon racks in the captain's cabin. And weapon racks are just decor anyway. I carry everything I'm going to use, and everything that's I put on a weapon rack is just strictly for looks. Like the pool table. It would be cool if you had a mini game where you could play pool, utilize the pool table, utilize the hookah. But you know, pirates never had it so good. So yeah, captain's have workshop, and then I've got on the third floor access to the cockpit, and since it had the extra portals there and it was easy enough to do, I just threw the 3x1s on. I mean, it gives you a kitchenette. Did I put a stove in the lounge? I don't think I've got a stove in the lounge. So here you've got a stove, and you've got more sitting room and another breakfast bar there. And then you've got the captain's suite, which is, you know, private quarters and Valroon worship center, I guess. I don't know. Just utilizing the Valroon assets from the Shattered Space stuff. I think that the art was really nice in Shattered Space. It's pretty much all keyword local skins of assets that already exist in game. So trying to duplicate those walls and floors and such is a little complicated, because you have to dig out access to those keywords and get all of them set up where you can do the material swap to make it look like that. I'm pretty sure programmatically it's easier to manage, but trying to grab assets that utilize it's a little bit more complicated to set up, and I didn't deep dive into that to make that work. do its easing. Yeah, simple ship. Actually, like I say, you could drop those 3x1s. They're really not necessary. And then there's also space underneath the ship if you wanted to really utilize all the space that it's got. It's got enough room to add stuff underneath the ship. But I like to keep this clear. I like to be able to walk under it. Actually, I usually like to be able to drive underneath it, but using the full-size reactor and the elevator, it eats up a lot of that space. But it's a small footprint ship, so it's not like walking around it is that big of a deal here. I use the structure there to help the flow of the shape under the ship, where it wasn't so squared off here and squared off there, but a little bit more uh, chiseled edge. But that sacrifices the ability to have windows. However, with these 3x1s, I got windows like crazy, so there is that. I mean, you've got flexibility to have or not have. It's just a matter of choice. I think the basic layout works pretty well, and it's pretty simple. It accommodates having a 3x3 or a 2x3 non-ladder entry bay. You could change the cockpit to be at one of the larger cockpits that's back entry. It's got lots of flexibility. Plus, you've got full 6 sets of size 2 engines that give you full 150 speed and maneuverability. Plenty of fuel range. This has got a modified shield and it's got modified reactor. I'm running a Class B grav drive because it just doesn't need any more than the 33 jump power. That you really don't need much more than that unless you start really stacking a lot of weight. Would have liked to tie that back edge, been able to put that spine right on across the back edge of the cockpit, but the elevator doesn't have a snap point there, so it prevents me from going ahead and finishing off that edge. But it looks all right. It'll work all right. I would rather have that than the ladder. That was just part I was trying to avoid. Build it without a ladder and had these halved, but stay relatively within the footprint size of the Ghost. The Ghost is really kind of hard to duplicate. I mean, it's got one hab, it's got that 3 stack of size 2 engines, and the Hope big 4 thrust landing gear, and the landing gear obscures a whole lot of visibility and eats up a lot of space. So the only practical aspect of it is that it's a 4 thrust, but you can get that out of the NG20 landing gear and consume a whole lot less space and have 3 visual options for it. So I almost never use that Hope landing gear that you get on the Ghost. Pretty much just dictates a complete reconstruction of a different looking ship. Or stay with the Ghost and just change out the single hab to be a different single hab. I'm going to run this later. I haven't run it yet, and it's kind of fun. I like it a little bit. I've been doing some of these POIs. It's been a long time since I've done them, and I've been a little bit bored. And now kind of done with making the halves or modifying the halves for now. I have considered going in and experimenting a little bit more with that weapon wall. All of the stuff is broken up individually, and I thought maybe I would spread that out to test my um, thought that there may be a relationship between the density of the objects causing a proximity issue where it was hard to do a refresh on it because there's so much information there close together with overlapping coordinates for their proximity limitations. Those are all assumptions that I'm making. I want to stress I'm making assumptions here. I have not seen any code or any documentation or flowcharts or anything that says that. It's just an assumption that I'm throwing out there by the way that it's acting, and it's the thing that comes to my mind that that's what's going on. But it could be tested by just taking it and spreading it apart and seeing if somehow it starts actually showing a more favorable behavior um, to what I would that would support what I've been saying about it may be related to proxemics. So I've considered that, but I'm not messing with it right now. I've spent a lot of time just bulldogging in the creation kit, and I need to take a break from that and have some fun. So that's what I'm doing.